With those numbers, are you surprised to see that much of a drop, possibly 8.2%?
No, not really. I mean, you look at the numbers for July, Rogers. It just came out a few weeks ago. U.S. travel by Canadians was down, I think, 37% by car, which is a lot. 26% by air. So combined, you're looking at close to 30% just from Canadians, and Canadians make up roughly about a quarter of visits to the U.S. So some other countries are not doing too badly, and I think Mexico has slipped in terms of travel to the U.S. But a lot of this is due to Canadians.
And where are we heading then? Where are people choosing to go instead?
Well, talking to people from the Flight Center travel group, they say a lot of Canadians this summer were heading to Mexico, to the Caribbean, which is in some ways kind of an odd time of year to be heading south. So that certainly says something about the U.S. market, and a lot to Europe. I mean, flights to Europe really packed. I can't even tell you the number of people I've talked to over the last few weeks who've either been to Europe or are heading to Europe in the next few weeks.
Are there any indicators that this is could be a continuing trend in long term?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's always hard to know. I mean, that you do have to realize that Canadian numbers are likely, you would think, to increase a little bit perhaps as the weather gets a little colder. Travel to the U.S. is always stronger in some of those months. But the months that they've been measuring, Roger, they're month over month. So it's not like July is down because not as many Canadians are going to Orlando as would go in January. They're comparing July of this year with July of last year, or June of last year with June of this year. So I don't think there's going to be any big change. Maybe November, December, there could be a bit of an improvement on the U.S. side, at least from Canadians. But there's so many things that are going on in the U.S. I think right now, Roger, that make people a little bit nervous. You see the president taking over the police force in Washington D.C. and saying that the nation's capital is not safe. You see immigration raids all across the United States. I think the message some Canadians are getting, and some people around the world, is that they're just not welcome and they don't feel safe.
And now you mentioned a lot of Canadians are heading to Europe. Are we traveling within Canada, and are people coming here?
Yeah, there's a lot of Canadian. I haven't seen the numbers lately on Canada. Actually, American travel to the U.S. To Canada, American travel to Canada is down a little bit. There actually were more Americans visiting Canada than there were Canadians visiting the U.S. in parts of the summer. But the actual numbers of Americans are slightly down in Canada. Domestic travel, though, you're right, absolutely. Domestic travel, very, very strong. A lot of Canadians heading to British Columbia, of course, Southern Ontario, Quebec, and a lot of people to the Maritimes in Newfoundland this summer.
Okay, Jim, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
Anytime, Roger. Yeah.
Jim Byers is a travel expert.